What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me before I head in here to the gym and blow my chest up again. Shout out to you guys, my subs. Thanks for riding along with me on the road to 5,000. Slow motion, but motion nonetheless. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. It's pretty mild out here today, actually. I think it's like 43 right now. You know, that's cold, but man, I'll take it over that 8 degrees we had the other day. I'll take this any day because I can be out here. I can have a hoodie on. I don't have to have gloves on. I don't have to have a beanie on. I can just be comfortable out here today. But yeah, let's talk about the topic at hand. Daniel Penny. I don't know if you guys have heard about this situation. Actually, you might have, because it was making the rounds quite a bit. There was a subway incident in New York. There was a guy on the subway, a black man. He seemed to be off his rocker. He was under the influence of something. That we saw because he had some stuff in his system. So he was under the influence. Dude was wigging out pretty tough. And a guy who was on the train held onto him, preventing him from attacking other people that were on the subway. Now, this has been something that has been repeated from multiple counts, witnesses, people that were on the subway. They all pretty much said the same thing, that this man essentially was a hero, that the guy who he restrained was out of control, and that he basically saved the day. He prevented the guy from attacking people, and he ended up dying. But when people got there, he turned down medical attention. You know, it was a very strange thing to do. Unless the reason why he was refusing is because, you know, he was under the influence and not in his right mind. You know, there's always that. So, who knows? But nonetheless, he was charged with manslaughter. That situation happened back in May. And here it is, December. And it's still going on. Actually, I forgot about this until this update happened here. Because when this first happened, I wasn't even making videos yet. So that's why you guys never heard me talk about this before. And I wasn't intending on talking about it, but now here we are. We got updates on it. The charge of manslaughter has been dropped, but now he's going to face a lesser charge. I don't know about that. I don't think that usually happens, where they kind of overcharge you with one crime. And if that fails, then now they have the option of coming at you with something less. I don't know how often that happens, but if you've prepared a case for facing one charge and you have successfully defended against it, it does seem a bit weird that they can like take another swipe at you with a lesser charge. You should just be tried once and let that be that. Not, oh, we're not gonna give up. We're sore losers, and we're gonna try to get them no matter what. But I oftentimes see people say things like, "Why are you recording? Why are people just standing there recording and not doing anything?" We see that all the time. We'll see something outrageous on video, and without fail in the comments, it's always going to be people who say, "Why are you just standing there recording and not doing anything?" Well, maybe not in all cases, but certainly some cases, this very well may be why. Because look what happened to this guy for standing up and doing something. And New York, I have no problem with New York. You guys heard me say about New York the other day that I think New York is the very image of American living. It's what outside people think of when they think of America. You know, they think New York. New York is iconic. But New York really needs some work with its justice system, because how is it that you have migrants getting away with whatever? and it gets swept under the rug. And then a guy protecting passengers on the same train that he's on, it makes national news, and he's kind of being painted out to be like he's the crazy one, like he's the violent one. And I mean, this isn't the only situation we've seen of this. Even when you're just doing self-defense, it's like you still may end up charged. Because do you guys remember the one bodega worker? There was a woman that came in, tried to charge something with a bridge card. The bridge card was empty. And so she, as these ghetto loud women tend to do, they have to make every situation worse because they have to be right. She couldn't just accept the fact that the bridge card wasn't going to work. Her kids had to have them Doritos. So she goes out to the car to get her boyfriend. I have no idea why he didn't get her together. Like, man, it's just some Doritos. Let's go. No, he decides that he wants to go back into the store and bully the bodega worker. So he goes behind the counter and pushes him down, and he's all in his face talking all types of stuff. Well, the bodega worker remained calm, and he had a knife in reach, and he grabbed it and he poked him a couple times. He poked him in the belly and poked him in the neck, and he ended up succumbing to those injuries. Now, this was a clear case of self-defense, and he ended up being charged with I think it might have been murder for him. It might not have been manslaughter. I think it might have been murder for him. But either way, it was just ridiculous that this was a clear case of self-defense and he was being charged at all. So New York, when in terms of just the law, the prosecution, it's really seeming like the criminals have more rights than the victims. The criminals just seem to be seen in a much more sympathetic light, and I don't get that. Now, in the case of Daniel Penny, you have to operate across the board the same way, because recently we had a situation where there was a black man who stepped in and defended people in a similar fashion away from somebody, and he was not charged. He was fine. He was not charged because it was a self-defense situation. So with Daniel Penny going through what he is for the amount of time that he is, and the fact that they're still going at him, trying to get him for now a lesser charge, people are going to see that and they're going to call BS on it. They're going to say, and I get why they are saying this, they're going to say that the reason why he's dealing with what he's dealing with is because he is a white man and the person who he stopped was a black man. And good luck trying to convince them otherwise, because the optics of it are bad, especially when you have a situation that happened afterwards where there was a black man doing a similar thing and he was not charged. So how do you have those two different examples and the black man gets off and the white man doesn't? They're going to believe that this is racially motivated, and you're going to have a very difficult time convincing them otherwise. Personally, from the eyewitness accounts that I've heard, where people are like, he basically saved the day, I think this should just be dropped. I don't think that he should be given any time. The fact that this has taken this long, to me, in my opinion, is kind of silly. The bodega worker ended up having the charges dropped, but that DA was so after him. And I was really surprised about how this DA was so after him so aggressively. This was a guy who, by all accounts, he's never in trouble. The guy works hard every day, providing for his family and whatnot. This is somebody that is a law-abiding citizen, and he found himself in a situation where he was being attacked and he acted in self-defense. Why is he being punished for this? You can't have a society where people feel like they just have to be victims, that they just have to lay down and be victimized. So you're gonna have, if this keeps continuing, stuff like this, you're gonna have situations where people are simply not going to act. Those good Samaritan moments, they're going to become fewer and further in between. Because of stepping in and putting yourself at risk to protect other people, which is what everyone says you're supposed to do. That's what everyone says you're supposed to do. Do the right thing. But if doing the right thing means that you could possibly be prosecuted and taken away from your family, you don't get to see your kids grow up and all that, you're going to have more and more people that's going to look the other way, mind their business. I see nothing, I heard nothing, I know nothing. So there it is. I'm going to leave it there, man. This Daniel Penny situation, I think it's going on for what it is. I think it's going on much longer than it should be. And they really need to get this together, man. They need to get this together like yesterday, because I don't understand why, especially in New York. And again, this isn't me ragging on New York. But when you have so many other crimes happening, or actual crimes happening, and they appear to be very soft on crime there, why is it that in a situation like this, you are so adamant about locking the guy up? I don't get that. For my New Yorkers that watch me, man, shout out to y'all. I mess with y'all. You know, I got much love for New York, even though I've never been there. I have adoration for New York because of what it represents in the United States of America. So if you guys got any opinions or whatever, please chime in. I'll be looking forward to those comments. Peace.